Choosing the right realtor can be the difference between a smooth, successful transaction and a stressful transaction filled with headaches and heartbreak at the end. But how do you know who to pick as your realtor? Well, let's talk about that today. Let's go through the pros and cons and what you should look for in your realtor. Should you just pick your best friend as your realtor? Should you pick the guy across the street? Should you pick the realtor with the best reviews in town? Should you pick me as your realtor? I don't know. Let's go through all the pros and cons and what you should look for in a realtor. Let's get into it today. By the way, I'm Aalia Scott, your friendly Kenosha realtor here. If you guys like my content, please do me a huge favor. Hit that like button for me. It encourages YouTube to go ahead and push my content onto more and more people. And so they keep coming back and watching more and more of my videos. So they get value out of it just like you do. If you find yourself coming back to my channel over and over again and watching more of my videos, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button for me. It lets me know that you guys enjoy this content and it encourages me to keep making more and more videos for you guys, just like this one, and other videos of things happening around town and things that me and my family do. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Now let's get into it. The first thing you want to look for in a realtor is experience and local knowledge. You want to make sure that the realtor you hire, whether it be your buyer's realtor or your seller's realtor, has a lot of experience and a lot of local knowledge. You want to make sure that they know how to handle your transaction. You want to make sure that they have transactions under their belt. Typically, you don't want to hire a realtor that's brand new, because a brand new realtor is going to have a lot of hand-holding, either from you as a seller or buyer, or from somebody else to help guide them through the transaction and walk them through all the steps, either from their broker or from another more experienced realtor. Which if they're just using another more experienced realtor, then you might as well just use that more experienced realtor yourself. You want to make sure that your realtor knows the local pricing trends of the market. Are we in a buyer's market? Are we in a seller's market? Are we in a neutral market? What kind of market are we in? That plays a big fact into your buying and selling process. If you're a seller, it plays a big factor into how you price your house. If you're in a seller's market, you can probably price it a little bit higher. But if you're in a buyer's market, you're going to want to price it a little bit lower to attract more buyers to come look at your house. If we're in a neutral market, you're going to price it somewhere in between there. Now, if you're a buyer, if we're in a buyer's market, then obviously you have the upper hand and you can play some game. You have the upper hand and you can probably get a better deal on a house. Now, if we're in a seller's market and you're a buyer, then you probably can't get quite as good of a deal. You're going to have to pay a little bit of a higher price for the house that you're looking at. And your realtor should know that, and they should know the kind of offer they're going to have to craft when you're putting an offer in a house. Are you going to have to offer maybe a little over asking price, maybe a lot over asking price? Are you going to have to maybe waive that inspection, which I would never recommend to my buyers? But maybe you're in a multiple offer situation where you might have to waive that home inspection just to get the house that you really love. I don't know. What kind of market are you in? Does your realtor know that? Does your realtor that you're hiring know the neighborhoods in your town? Are they from out of town? If you're hiring a realtor that's not in your town, that doesn't know your local market, that could be a red flag. You want to make sure that the realtor that you're hiring knows your local market. Like, I know Kenosha. I know the different neighborhoods. I know Racine. I know the different neighborhoods. I know the counties, Kenosha and Racine counties. Now, if you're hiring me to help you buy up in Milwaukee, I don't know Milwaukee quite as well. I know it a little bit, but not quite as well. So you want to make sure that you're hiring a realtor that knows your area, your hyper-local area, not a realtor that's working outside of that local market. Maybe you want to ask that potential realtor that you're looking at hiring for some reviews. Maybe you want to ask them for some phone numbers of past clients or for their Google review page or their Zillow review page or the realtor.com review page. And look at their reviews. Do they have good reviews? Do they have past reviews? What do their past clients have to say about them? That can tell you a lot about that realtor. Are they good to work with? Do they communicate really well? You want to know this kind of stuff before you sign a contract with them and start working with them. Because even buyers have to sign a contract now to even look at a house. You have to sign something to even look at a house right now. So make sure you know what you're getting yourself into before you sign with a realtor and start working with them. Number two, you want to look for in a realtor? You want to make sure you get along with that realtor. Getting along with the realtor is really important. If you're a buyer, you're going to be working with this realtor for at least 30 to 45 days. That's considering you find the house right away. If you find the house right away and you go under contract right away, the closing process is at least 30 days, sometimes longer depending on the situation. But you're gonna be dealing with this realtor for at least the next 30 to 45 days, depending on how long it takes you to look at houses. So you're gonna wanna get along with this realtor. You're gonna wanna get along with the personality. You're gonna wanna like them. You don't wanna dread going to see them and look at houses. You don't wanna dread calling them and asking them questions. You wanna like your realtor, kind of like a friend. You don't wanna dislike them. You wanna make sure that you like them. You wanna get along with them. And as a seller, when you're selling your house, your realtor should be calling you at least once a week to give you any feedback on your house. What is the feedback that's been happening over the last week? If your realtor is not calling you to give you feedback on your house and you currently listed, that should be a red flag to you. Why is your realtor not calling you? Why are they not giving you any feedback? What's going on? Make sure that you like your realtor. Make sure that your realtor is doing their job. This is the bare minimum that a realtor should be doing, is giving you feedback, talking to you at least once a week. Even if you're a buyer and there's no houses that you're looking at right now, your realtor should still be touching in with you at least once a week. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, how are things going? I know there are no houses on the market right now, nothing for us to look at, but how are things going? Has your criteria changed any? Has your search radius changed any? Maybe you want to open up your search radius. Maybe you want to change your criteria because there's no houses to look at right now. Maybe you want to change your budget. I don't know. Maybe something has changed. Your realtor should be touching base with you at least once a week, whether you're a buyer or a seller. If your realtor isn't doing this with you, that should be a red flag to you. Your realtor should be in constant contact with you. Probably not every day, but at least once a week. Point number 3 that you should look for in a realtor: communication style. Everybody has their own way of communicating. My wife, she loves texting. She texts everybody. She hates phone calls. If you call her, she probably will not answer. Now, if you text her, she'll answer as soon as she possibly can. So you need to ask your realtor, how do you communicate? If I text you, will you text me right back? If I call you, will you answer your phone? Some realtors don't answer their phone. It blows my mind. Our business comes from people communicating with us, from calling us, texting us, emailing us. And some realtors almost never answer their phones. I don't know how they get any business. I don't know how they stay in business when they never answer their phones, but somehow they do. Ask your realtor, if I email you, will you respond to my email within 12 hours, within a day, within 2 hours? I don't know. Tell your realtor, my preferred method of communication is texting. If I text you, will you text me back? Say my preferred method of communication is calling. If I call you, will you answer my phone calls or call me back within an hour or two? Say my preferred method of communication is emailing. If I email you, will you email me back in an hour or two? Now, if you say my preferred method of communication is faxing, I don't know a realtor that's alive that'll fax you back, but you never know. You may be able to find one out there. Who knows? You want to make sure that you find a realtor that's responsive, that'll respond to you. Because while there's no true emergency in real estate, you have questions, and those questions need to be answered by you because it may feel like an emergency to you, and you want to have your questions answered in a timely manner. So while your real estate agent doesn't need to answer you right away, like in the next 2 minutes, having those answers to you in the next hour or two, or 12 hours if it's 9 o'clock at night, is nice to have the realtor respond to you in a timely manner. So having your agent respond to you in a timely manner is something that you want to ask your agent. Do you respond to me in a timely manner? So that's a question that you need to ask your agent. A question that you can ask the potential agent is, how often can I expect to hear from you? And in what way can I expect to hear from you? Point number 4 you want to look for in a potential realtor is a proven track record. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but we're going to talk about it again. You want to look at their track record. Look at how many closings they've had in the past year. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a fantastic realtor or a bad realtor. Some realtors just have an off year. Some realtors just can't find the amount of buyers that they normally have. They just have a down year and they don't have the number of closings that they typically have. So the number of closings doesn't necessarily tell you if they're a good or bad realtor. It just tells you how many houses that they sell. But look at their reviews. Look at their online reviews. It's really easy to go on Zillow.com or Google.com or Realtor.com and look up their reviews. I can guarantee you if they're a decent realtor that they have some kind of reviews on one of those 3 websites. If they don't, that's a potential red flag. Why don't they have any reviews? Every realtor that I know asks their clients for reviews, and they get reviews and they get reviews on one or all those 3 websites. Or maybe they get reviews on Facebook.com. Either way, they should have reviews somewhere that you can look up and look at, and it tells you what kind of realtor they are. Point number 5 you want to look at, this one's primarily for sellers. You want to look at their marketing strategy. How are they going to market your house? What are they going to do to get your house sold? You want to emphasize the importance of a strong marketing plan. Are they just going to list your house in the MLS, put a sign in the yard, and pray that people come and look at it, or call them and sell your house? If that's their marketing strategy, it may or may not work. In 2021, in 2020, that was a really strong marketing strategy because there were so many buyers here in Kenosha that we couldn't keep houses on the shelves. Houses were flying off the market. It was insane. But now that we're at the end of 2024, going into 2025, and we're heading into more of a neutral market, that marketing strategy may not work anymore. So realtors may have to work a little bit harder to sell houses. Maybe they have to put a little bit of money behind houses. Invest in Facebook ads, maybe Google ads, maybe take a little bit higher quality pictures instead of just cell phone pictures. Maybe do some drone ads, maybe update the pictures if it's been a new season since they took the initial pictures. Maybe do something different with the listings. Maybe pay for postcards, maybe do some door knocking. Ask them, what's their marketing strategy? What are they gonna do to help sell your house? That's an important question of your seller. You don't want the house to just sit on the market and rack days on the market, because the more days it collects on the market, the more it looks like the buyers that there's something wrong with the house, and the more that they're just going to pass over your house or send you lowball offers. Point number 6, this is really important for buyers and sellers. You want to have an agent that has really strong negotiating skills. You want to have an agent that's going to go out there and fight for you. Are they going to fight for your best interests? If they're a seller, they're going to fight to get you the highest price possible. And on the other end, if you're a buyer, they're going to fight to get you the best, lowest price possible. Are they going to be in your corner? Are they going to fight for you to get you the best terms possible in the contract? If you're a seller and you need post-occupancy after the sale, like a lot of sellers did in 2020, 2021, are they going to fight to get that for you? If you're a buyer and you need closing cost credit to make the deal work, are they going to fight for that? Or in today's world, because the buyers have to pay their own agents, are they really going to fight for the seller to offer concessions and to pay for the buyer's agent out of the seller's proceeds? Some sellers are now starting to push back on that a little bit. We're not seeing too much of that on the market right now, but I suspect that in the next year or two, we'll probably start to see a little more pushback on that. But who knows what will happen? Nobody has that crystal ball, so who knows? We'll see what happens. But you're either going to fight hard to get the seller to offer concessions and to pay for your buyer agent fee, so that the buyer doesn't have to pay for that out of their own pocket at closing time. You want to make sure that you have an agent that's going to be strong-willed and fight for your best interests at closing time, so that you get the best deal possible. Point number 7, local connections. If you're a buyer and you're just starting to shop for houses, does your realtor have local lenders that you can talk to? Who are they? Are they local lenders? Are they great lenders? Do they have more than one lender to talk to? Because you want to talk to more than one lender when you're just starting to look for a house. Because some lenders have better rates than others. Some lenders have lower fees than others. You want to compare lenders. You don't necessarily want to take just the first lender you talk to. Sometimes the first lender you talk to is the best, but sometimes they're not. You often want to compare lenders. And a good realtor will tell you that. Compare lenders. Talk to 2 or 3 lenders and see what they all have to offer you. Do they have local home inspectors? Do they have local contractors? Do they have local plumbers? Do they have local HVAC people? Do they have all these connections? What about the local hairstylists? Do they know the best local hairstylists? What if you're moving in from out of state or something? Where can they tell you to go? What if you absolutely love your hair and you need it done every 2 weeks, but you don't know the best local hairstylist to go to? Can your realtor recommend the local hairstylist to go to? I know the best local hairstylist to go to. My wife goes to 3 or 4 different ones. I can tell you the best local hairstylist to go to. Ask me and I'll give you a great recommendation. Can your realtor do that? I hope that you guys are really enjoying this video and finding it super informative. If you are, please go ahead and hit that like button for me. It does me a huge favor and tells YouTube to go ahead and push this video to more people just like you so that they watch it too, and encourages me to keep making videos just like this and other videos that are fun, more interactive, and just out there for you guys to get more information about the home buying process and home selling process. Now let's get back to it. Point number 8 you want to look for in a realtor: transparency and honesty. Believe it or not, there are some realtors out there who are not fully transparent and not fully honest. I know. I can't believe it either. Who would have thought that? But you want to make sure that you pick a realtor that you feel is honest, trustworthy, and has your best interest at heart. Not a realtor that has their best interest at heart. As realtors, we're supposed to always have our client's interest at heart, not ours. If the deal closes, that's fantastic. The client gets the house or sells the house, and we make a commission. That's great. Everybody wins. If the deal doesn't close, that's sad. The client doesn't sell the house, the client doesn't buy the house, and we don't get a commission. That's sad for everybody. But life moves on. We continue to help the client, or we find a new client if that client decides to dump us for whatever reason. But you know what? We always have the client's best interest at heart, or at least we should. We shouldn't be chasing that next commission. We should always be chasing the next client and helping them. So if you're talking to a realtor and you just feel like they don't have your best interest at heart, you feel like they're just chasing that next closing, that next real estate commission, then you probably shouldn't hire them. You want to make sure that realtor has your best interest at heart. Make sure that they want to see you get to that closing table. Make sure that they want to see you close your house for the most amount of money possible, or make sure that they want to see you buy your dream home. Make sure they're not chasing the next commission check. Make sure that they have your best interest at heart. And the last tip number 9, availability. Make sure the realtor that you hire is available for you. Now this one's a little touchy. So as realtors, of course, we need a steady flow of clients, to keep making commissions, keep paying the bills, keep feeding our families, keep doing stuff like that. So obviously we're not always working with just one client at a time, but you want to make sure that the realtor has time for you. You don't want a realtor that's working with 50 different clients at a time and has absolutely no time for you. But if they are working with, let's say, 15, 20 different clients at a time, hopefully they're working with a team and they can pass off some of those clients to other people. Hopefully they're delegating some of those clients to other people. It's not just one person running the whole team. Hopefully they have some kind of systems and processes in place where they can provide you the time and the attention that you deserve. Hopefully they have the time for you. Hopefully they give you the attention and the time that you deserve. Hopefully they're not ignoring your phone calls so that they can pay attention to another client that they feel is more deserving because their house is worth more money or they're shopping for a higher value house. Make sure that the realtor that you hire has the time for you and is not too busy with other clients that they ignore you. Whether you're buying or selling, choosing the right realtor sets the tone for the entire process. The realtor is the central point of contact for the whole process, and they do all the behind the scenes work for you. They set up the closing, the title work, they talk to your lender throughout the whole process, they tell you the next steps, they help guide you through the whole process. So choosing your realtor is a very important step in the process. So make sure you choose the right one. You don't want to choose the wrong realtor and totally regret the process. I've talked to several clients before who've hired me and said, you know what, Chad, you were absolutely fantastic. The realtor that we used to buy our last house, they were awful. They didn't communicate. They dropped the ball on several parts of the process. And we're so glad that we found you this time because this process was so much more smooth than it was last time. If you're in the Kenosha area and looking for a realtor that checks all these boxes, I'd love to help. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure that you hit that like button. It really encourages YouTube to go ahead and push this video out to more people so they come over here and watch this video and get the same kind of value out of it that you did. If you find yourself keep coming back to this channel and watching videos just like this or other videos, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button. It encourages me to keep making videos just like this or other videos about Kenosha and my family doing fun things around town. If you have any questions or would like to see any other videos in the future, please go ahead and drop them down here in the comment box. I read all the comments and reply to them as quickly as I can. I hope they have a fantastic rest of your day. I can't wait to see you on the next video.